Let me guess. At some point in your career, someone has pulled you aside and whispered, be careful what you tell HR. They'll go straight to management. Or maybe you've heard HR isn't on your side. They only protect the company. That fear, it's everywhere. And honestly, I get why it exists because I have experienced it before. Welcome back to the HR space with Lillian, where we break down workplace issues into simple human language. I am Lillian, a freshly certified PHRI specialist, and I believe work should make sense and not stress you. Today, we are tackling one of the biggest myths in the workplace. HR is a spy for management. Let's talk about what HR really is and why trust matters more than you think. Here's what many employees believe. So, they believe HR is management watchdog. You complain about your boss, and all of a sudden, your boss knows everything you said. You share a concern in confidence, and it ends up in your file. I'm not even going to pretend I'm not even going to pretend this fear came from nowhere. In some organizations, HR has been used that way. And that's a problem because when employees don't trust HR, they suffer in silence. Toxic behavior goes unreported, harassment continues, and burnout actually grows. But here's the truth: HR isn't a spy, HR is a bridge. We represent the company, yes, but we also protect employees through labor law, policy, and fairness. We sit in the middle, and that's exactly where we are supposed to be. So, let me give you an example. An employee comes to me and says, oh, my manager is giving me impossible deadlines and then publicly shaming me when I can't meet them. I am burnout, and if you tell my manager I said this, it will get worse. Here's what I don't do. I don't walk straight to the manager and say, oh, so and so is complaining about you. No. Here's what I would rather do. First, I will listen. I will ask questions. I will gather facts. I look at the pattern. Is this happening to others? Are deadlines genuinely unrealistic? Or is there a skill gap we need to address? Then I protect the employee's confidentiality while still addressing the issue. Maybe I have a general conversation with a manager or about workload distribution. Maybe I look at project timelines across the team. Or maybe I bring leadership data that shows burnout risk. The employee's name doesn't come up, right? But the problem gets solved. That's not being a spy, that's being strategic about fairness. Now I won't even lie to you. The HR job isn't easy because yes, we do have to balance two realities. We protect the business. So if someone is violating company policy, stealing, harassing others, or creating legal risk, has to act. That's not being a spy, that's accountability. Or let's say we protect the employees. If management is breaking labor law, creating unsafe conditions, or treating people unfairly, HR has to push back, even when it feels uncomfortable. And here's the hard part: sometimes those two things are intention. A manager wants to fire someone immediately. I have to say no, not without due process. An employee also wants to file a complaint anonymously and have the person fired without investigation. I have to say no. We need facts and fairness. So HR isn't about choosing sides, it's about managing that tension. So fairness, compliance, and culture stay intact. And that takes resilience, empathy, and then thick skin. So how does HR earn trust? Not by being perfect, but by being consistent. Confidentiality matters a lot. If you tell me something sensitive, I don't broadcast it. I handle it with care. And if I do need to share information to solve the problem, I tell you first. We also follow process, not politics. Decisions are based on policy, data, and fairness, and not who is louder or who is more senior. We also hold everyone accountable. That means staff and management. If a policy applies to one person, it applies to everyone. We are transparent about what we can do and can't do. If you tell me about harassment, I can't promise to keep it completely confidential, but the law requires us to investigate. but I can promise to handle it with care and keep you informed. When HR does this consistently, trust grows, employees feel heard, leaders are held to standards, and the workplace actually works best for everyone. So, what this means for you is that if you're an employee, you have the right to raise concerns, ask, and you deserve to have them handled fairly, not used against you. If you don't trust your HR, ask yourself, is it because they have actually violated your trust or because of what you've heard? Give them a chance. And if they fail you, escalate or get external support. If you are a manager, don't put HR in a position of being your enforcer or informant. We are not here to control your team for you. We are here to help you lead fairly. If you are in HR to remember why you are here. You are not management's messenger. Neither are you the employee's therapist. You are the person who holds the line on fairness, even when it's hard. So I want you to know HR isn't a spy. HR is the accountability partner that keeps things fair for both sides. When HR does its job so well, employees feel safe speaking up. Leaders are held to high standards, and culture doesn't just survive, it thrives. So the next time someone whispers, don't trust HR, maybe share this episode because trust isn't built on silence, it's built on understanding what HR really is. That is it for today's episode of the HR Space with Vivian. Here, we make work make sense and one conversation at a time. Always remember, HR isn't just about policies, it's about people. And see you next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and share with your friends, and subscribe to our YouTube page. Bye bye.